Hey yo, what is the word, Vault Hunters? The time has finally come. The DLC, first bounty pack, whatever you want to call it, is here, and I have some thoughts. So let's talk about it. What up? Yo, it's your boy Grandpa Casual, and we are back with yet another Borderlands 4 video. And how Rush Saved Mercenary Day is finally here. There was a lot of talk about it. There was a lot of skepticism after what we had with Horrors of Kairos and things like that. And I'm happy to say that after trying this out and playing it, it turned out to be pretty good so far. So that is what we're going to talk about today. And if you're into Borderlands 4 tips, tricks, guides, videos like these where I break it all down, let you know whether or not a DLC or a bounty pack is worth coming back, consider liking and subscribing. I would love to have you be a part of this community. And outside of that, man, let's get into the DLC. Now, right off the rip, I'm not going to show you anything from the DLC too extensively because it's actually rather short. You're only going to get like an hour of content here. And I know a lot of people might be like, whoa, an hour of content. Wait, whoa, what is this about? Well, understand that one of the things that did change with this bounty pack is that it's actually free. Yes, free 99. Now, at one point I did think this was going to be paid, but it turned out to be free. Understandably so, because it's kind of light on content, but what it delivers, in my opinion, is just what we needed. Now, one of the things that a lot of people in the community had to say about Horrors of Kairos was that it seemed kind of lazy. It didn't really bring in the event. It didn't really bring in the theme aspect of a themed event. It was supposed to be a Halloween event, but we didn't get much of the ambiance because you had to fight the world bosses in order to be able to experience it. But I am proud to let you know right now that that is not the case when it comes to how Rush Saved Mercenary Day. Now, what you're going to get here from this new bounty pack / DLC is you're going to get about an hour's worth of new content. So you're going to get some new missions, you're going to get some new dialogue, you're going to get some new story. And through this, even though it's short, I do feel like this is a step in the right direction. And I also feel like with this, Gearbox addressed one of my biggest concerns when it came to the game. And we're going to get into that in a second. But first, I want to talk about one of the major things that they did right here. Now, once I booted up and got into the DLC, one of the things that I was expecting and really wanted to happen was I wanted to see the world change itself. And shortly after loading up and getting into the DLC and starting the mission, I started to see snow. I started to see that ambiance. I started to say, okay, this is something different. This is seasonal. This feels like they're actually in tune with what's going on here. I didn't have to go to a special area to see the snow. I didn't have to do anything extra to see the things change. No, things just changed. It started snowing, snow started building up on the ground, and the ambiance itself was enough for me to be like, okay, I could get into this now. And it was one of the few times in a long time where I actually wanted to walk around the map. Typically in Borderlands 4, I'm not gonna lie, what I do is I rip and run through the map. I rush right through it. There's nothing really to see. There's nothing really to experience. There's not much to see. Everything is pretty much static and the same everywhere I go. So to see this little switch up was really a breath of fresh air for me. But it's not really until you get into the main hub area or the main mission area of the event that you see the real ambiance of the holiday season. You got lights, you got images all over the walls. It feels festive. It feels really holiday-esque. And from my casual perspective, I was highly pleased with what I got from this so far. And I understand that for some people, this may not be enough. You know, it's just an hour's worth of content. But when it comes to stuff being free, it's kind of hard for me to complain when things are free and it's done with some level of intention. It's not like they just slap things together with this one. It seems like there was some care taken with this, so I'm not mad at it at all. And not to mention, this DLC actually addresses one of my major concerns with the end game. And I understand that a lot of people also want tougher bosses and things like that for the end game. Me, myself, I'm not really on that side of the field. I'm a casual. I'm not really trying to try hard in this type of game. But one of my concerns that I had towards the end game of Borderlands 4 is that the world never seemed to react to the actions of your Vault Hunter. Like I said time and time again, I destroyed the Timekeeper. This is the main guy within this world, within Kairos. And I did that. And in the end, it kind of felt like it fell flat. Like nobody mentions it. Nobody says anything about it. It's like the order just continues to exist as if he never left. But what Minister Screw does here is he actually brings that dynamic back and reels it all in. Him existing alone actually makes it make sense why the order is still operating. He's kind of like an underboss to the Timekeeper. So he has some pull, he has some sway. He actually mentions the Timekeeper. He actually mentions the things that you've done and the fact that you've gotten rid of the Timekeeper. He brings these things up, which actually gives way more weight to the actions that I've taken as a Vault Hunter in this game. And in Borderlands fashion, it was weirdly hilarious at the same time. The way that he actually referred to Timekeeper as daddy. I was like, man, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm with it, man. I'm down for the ride. Now, as far as the mission itself that you do get with this bounty pack, it's straightforward. It's nothing too crazy. You're not going to rack your brain with any of the puzzles that you have to complete to be able to get to Minister Screw. And I think that's okay. Like I said, for me, the ambiance and the seasonal feeling was something I was going for more than like some really tough gameplay and a really challenging platforming puzzle and things like that. So the boxes were checked for me as far as that goes, and I feel like it was straightforward and it was enough. And when it comes down to the battle that you have against Screw, it actually is an interesting fight in my opinion. In a few ways, it kind of reminds me of the Timekeeper fight. You'll see when you actually fight him, but overall I thought the fight was interesting. I thought it was fun. I thought it was challenging. Me myself, I don't make builds that like when I press the trigger I just destroy everything, because to me that's boring. That's just my opinion and that's just the way I play the game. So it was challenging enough for me. It wasn't overly challenging where I had to fight him multiple times to be able to beat him. I beat him on the first try, but it was a challenge. He had a decent health pool, interesting attacks. Yeah, overall I thought it was cool. Also, although short, it does deepen the lore and the characters within the game. We learn a little bit more about Rush and his dad, and surprisingly so, something that came out of nowhere for me that really shocked me is that as playing Amon through this, I found out that Amon actually had a husband.
Amon, quick question. Do you think your husband is in hell? If so, how does it feel knowing you sent him there?
Each word you utter digs your grave ever deeper.
Yeah, it was mentioned, and I thought it was kind of like a joke because Minister Screw throughout the entire thing, he's like joking and making these quips, and there's a lot of it. Like he's just saying a whole bunch of stuff, and it kind of gets thrown in there in the middle of it. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I had no idea that this was the case. So I found that interesting to say the least. But for the bounty pack as a whole, I do feel like they're taking a step in the right direction. Me personally, I thought it was great. I had a great time with it, and given its length and the amount of content that you do get from it, it is definitely warranted to be free. If it had been a paid thing, I do believe that this would have gone horribly for Gearbox. Thankfully, they did come to their senses and make this free. And also, I do think that they felt the community's backlash for Horrors of Kairos and everything that we got with that. And they decided to take a different approach with this one. And I'm grateful for that. So if you happen to be wondering whether or not you should jump back into Borderlands 4 for How Rush Saved Mercenary Day, I believe that is worth coming back. I believe that this is worth trying out and stepping back into the game, especially if you're into seasonal events and holiday events. The story edition that they gave you is not like extensive, it's not expansive. Like I said, it's only like an hour's worth of content, but it's a good hour. It's a good hour to jump back into the game, try some new stuff, fight some new bosses, get some new loot, get some holiday themed stuff. Overall, I thought that was cool, and I do not regret my playtime coming back into Borderlands 4 for this. As I've said before, I do think that this is a step in the right direction, and hopefully Gearbox does this with more content in the future, give us a little bit of a longer DLC, a little bit more jam-packed, because if they do, I think that the future of the game looks bright if they continue on this path. I see a lot of people in the community asking for a lot of things that we got in Borderlands 2. Hopefully they hear that and try to accommodate us there. But overall, I think How Rush Saved Mercenary Day was a good one. I think that it was enjoyable. I think that it was fun. I think that what it added to the story in the world was great. And I'm just hoping to see much more of this in the future. But that's my casual take on it. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about How Rush Saved Mercenary Day? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? How do you feel about the story? How do you feel about Amon's revelation if you didn't know? Whatever it is, I'm always down to have conversations with you all. And if you like what we do here, consider liking and subscribing as we continue to try to grow. Also, memberships are open on the channel if you want to support us there. But with that said, be safe out there, Vault Hunters, because you know, like I know, Kairos gets crazy. Let's get it.